And we are back with Gil Ron Shama here to do a special performance with his talented oud performer who's with him, Ophir. Welcome to our studio. So first of all, tell us about the song you're going to be performing. I know it has a very deep meaning.
Yeah, this song, the Nabi, the prophet, I learned in the Sahara Desert. It's a kind of a hymn song that all the tribes in the Sahara sing, and it prays all the prophets. And it's a Sufi ancient song, tribal song, much before the Islam. And then when the Islam came and Muhammad the Prophet joined the lineage of prophets, he joined the song, and it's a very, very deep meaning song to take all the family of prophets of all religions, of the monotheistic religions, and put it in one song, which means a world peace song.
And without further ado, we want to thank all of you for watching this special Sufi episode of Holy Land Uncovered. Thanks again, and without further ado, here are Gil Ron Shama and Ophir performing Nabi.
نبي عليك سلامو نبي عليك صلاته نبي عليك سلامو نبي عليك صلاته يا حبيب الله عليك سلامو يا حبيب الله عليك صلاته يا حبيب الله عليك سلامو يا حبيب الله عليك صلاة الله حي والله الله الله حي
And we're now joined in studio by Gil Ron Shama, a musician, poet, and lifelong artist and storyteller, and also one of the founders and partners of the annual Sufi Festival in the Negev Desert that you saw in this last report. Welcome to the studio. Last time I saw you, we were surrounded by donkeys and camels. So explain to us, I know you come from a family of artists from Syria, Egypt. Your father was the founder of the Batsheva Dance Company, which is a very famous dance company from Israel. Explain why Sufism is such an important component to spirituality outside of just the Kabbalah and the Judaism that we talk about here.
So my journey with Sufism starts when I discovered that the music have a side beside of entertainment and make us the central fire of the human culture. I discovered that there is secrets beyond the sounds and the tones, and music have the power to heal. And when it became deeper and deeper task in my life, I was searching for communities in the world, in Africa, in India, in Asia, communities that keep those secrets of the music, and the gate was opening to me in Sufi communities. And I realized that Sufis hold and maintain sacred music, the real thing. And as I went deeper and deeper into the songs and the prayers and the whole ceremony scenes, I realized my self-reflection inside as a Hebrew man, as discovering my roots and the fragrances and the ancient memories of me standing in my own temple, not just the Hebrew temple, my personal Gil, my body and my soul was reflected from this music, the sacred music of the Sufis. And it brought me back from all my travelings back home. And then I realized, wow, I'm living in the middle of this scene. And in the 90s with my band Sheva, which was the first Palestinian-Israeli band, we started to express our contemporary expressions through music and through Sufi music, with the 2 languages, even 4 languages, Hebrew, Arabic, Turkish, and Persian. And slowly, I was making connections, deep connections with Sufi communities in Turkey, in India, in Africa, in North Africa, Morocco, in Senegal, in Mali.
Well, one last thing I know also, Rumi is a famous poet. Everyone's heard of him, even if they haven't heard of Sufism.
Yeah.
You translated Rumi into Hebrew. Why is Rumi kind of, besides Ibn Arabi and others that we hear about, specifically the poetry, so important?
I think because his subject of poetry is love and now. These 2 substances are catching the reader, because when you talk about love, everyone want to be part. We have so much suffering in the daily life, so much pressure in the modern way of life, and love is catching. And then, like the prophets, like Moses and Jonah, he is weaving within his words the now. He's touching this moment. And every time I read to people, when I do the declamé, the ceremony of reading the poetry, the sacred poetry, people are, the intimacy created so intense in the air because he's talking about you now.
It was the 12th century. I mean, this is 1,000 years ago.
Now is forever, and we have AI and we go to the moon and we make big nuclear wars, but actually the intimate world of the human experience is the same since Genesis. Love, tears, walking, the sun in the east, the moon in the sky, the wind on the skin, all those experiences are still here, and we share them.
We must embrace them and appreciate that we have these experiences. Gil Ron, thank you so much. We're going to take a short break, and I know we're going to be able to see you perform, so stay with us. Coming up, we have much more on our Sufi special, and Gil Ron will be performing one of his singles. And this one that you're seeing here before we go to break is one of his new singles.